Little Dave, what is going on?
Absolutely nothing. Just anxious to get these opinions out here to the world.
Okay, so we're about to get into it about Belle Collective, all things Belle Collective. We are going to be going into episode 6, but we got to talk about what we just came off of for episode 5. It's a whole lot going on. Black Twitter and the streets are jumping. Y'all in the comment section, y'all go in, baby. So we gonna start it off with my special guest, Little Dave. He knows all things Bell Collective. He's gonna tell it like it is, and we about to chop it up like onions and bell peppers for your Thanksgiving dressing, baby. So I want to start off with this, Dave,
Mm,
and I know you're gonna give your honest opinion.
okay.
Now, the whole fight between Selena and Gucci is everywhere. People are jumping. What do you think? Do you think this fight should not have been shown on TV or known to the public, or do you think it should have?
Um, it happened. So I'm gonna say I think it should have been put on TV, only because it's reality TV, right? And
Hmm.
so we're paying you to put your life on camera, and so the fact that it actually happened, even if you didn't put it on camera, the people that matter,
Hmm.
they already know. So at that point, it's like, go ahead and make your paycheck. Put it out there. It is what it is. If anything, I would say it shouldn't have happened. But
Mm.
being that it happened, yeah, put it out there. It is what it is.
Now, did you expect now? Because I felt like maybe it shouldn't have been shown on TV, but I felt let down from like, if y'all got this whole moment,
Hmm.
why was it more of a media blitz? Like, did you see like a whole lot going on that should have been going on for something like this epic
So you mean like in the room or just in general?
to promote the show in what was
Oh,
going
well, okay. So it's no different than Love and Hip Hop, right? Um, like Love and Hip Hop, they of course gonna advertise that, oh, it's about to be a fight, such and such.
on?
Of course, that's their bread and butter is a good fight, right?
Right,
And so, you put it out there, and then everybody called him ghetto, and oh, that's why I don't watch that because it's ghetto. But at the end of the day, shows like this prove that y'all full of crap because same difference. They had a fight. They've been advertising that since the beginning, and I'm sure the ratings are through the roof. Like that's all I've heard people talk about. And then when it actually happened, the internet went ablaze. You know what I mean? So,
hmm
in all actuality, I think that it was a smart move to do that because it just kept people coming back for more because they wanted to see it. Because they kept showing it like as if it was gonna happen next episode since the beginning, right? And
right.
if you ask me, I probably would have been trying to put it towards the end of the season to make sure y'all keep coming to the end of the season to watch it. So I think it was a good idea to do it. I think it was expected that it was going to be so explosive like that because it's a fight and fighting and sex sells. It is what it is.
It do. Now the streets feel like I'm gonna have to go and say it. I'm going to my black Twitter notes because I'm here to get a black Twitter report. They are calling out Carlos King. Okay, they are saying Carlos is not promoting the Bells enough. He's not promoting Love and Marriage Huntsville. The Detroit one is coming up. They feel like he's not even promoting that enough. He just had the gospel show on. They said Carlos. Okay, they say you're too busy promoting Bravo shows and you got
I
your
agree.
own shows. Bravo ain't cutting you no checks. The people want to see you promote the Bells. That's what they want to see. Now, I took a poll because everybody is saying now Selena should be a Belle. I took a poll. You can still vote in a community tab, but right now is at 80%. People say yes, Selena should be a Belle, and 20% say, what do you think about Selena becoming a Belle, Dave?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Absolutely.
not. Selena had her time on Bring It. She did her thing. The show
Mhm.
went well. She got her clout. as Gucci said, looking through that window. Now, I ain't knocking you for looking through that window. If you watching, I'm not saying that that's bad, but that's how they filmed you. That's what we saw, and it is what it is. And you got your following. People love you. Now let this girl get her time. Like, don't come over here intruding on her territory just
Mhm.
because, for whatever reason, it's just not cool. And now that this fight has happened, it's already caused a huge rift in their family, right? And so,
Right.
to me, if I was Selena or Gucci, you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Because if
Right.
she comes on there as a Belle, this is only going to get worse. You know what I mean? So you need
Hmm.
to be somewhere trying to mend this and heal it. Because at the end of the day, y'all got to deal with each other. This man is married to your kid's father, and whether they like him or not, that's still their father. Like, y'all
Right.
need to be trying to figure that out. The last thing you want to do is add fuel to the fire, and that's exactly what you would be doing by adding Selena to the cast. Like, no, absolutely not.
I think Selena should not be a Belle, and the reason why, like, I like Selena. Don't get
Mm.
me wrong. I'm a Gucci glam. I like Gucci. I think they are both beautiful and they are both smart. I don't like people making it like a Gucci Selena thing. But
Yeah,
the reason why I think Selena should not be a Belle is because y'all just want her on there for messiness. And outside of her being into it with Gucci, what else
would
could
she
it
bring?
be? Like, let Selena get her own show. If you a Selena fan, you know, push her to get another show.
Absolutely
But that storyline would get old to me, like people saying they over the whole Marie and Latrice thing, right?
right.
How long would y'all want to see Gucci and Selena into it?
If they fight every episode, they would love it.
Child, I ain't
But
here for it.
outside of that, no. I mean, like, it would become boring and quick, very quick. So yeah,
So y'all, in the comments, y'all are vicious now. People have
savage.
been attacking Gucci, attacking JJ. I'm not here for it. It's like they pretty much siding with Selena. Then it's my thing when they keep saying Selena, Gucci is jealous of Selena. Why would Gucci be jealous of Selena when she's married to JJ? It'll be different. Selena was married to JJ and Gucci wanted him, but that's her husband. So what does she have for? I don't get that.
But that's just how TV works. Like, the whole trolling and all of that. At the end of the day, we could say like we ain't with it, we don't like it, but that's what keeps the ratings going. That's what keeps the people coming back. So while we sitting up talking about we don't like it, and I'm sure Gucci probably don't either, the producers in the background like, yes, keep it coming. You know what I'm saying? And the
Yeah.
whole goal of the situation is to keep the ratings high, so you keep a job, and there's another season, and so on and so forth. So they doing their job. Let them do their job. You know what's going on in your house, so that's the thing. You can't, and that's why they always tell each other to stay out of the comments, right? At
Hmm.
the end of the day, like, you got to fulfill your what you're supposed to be doing to keep this show going. You can't be worried about what people are saying because people gonna say what they want to say, but your life still got to go on, and so does this show. So yeah, I mean, they doing their job. Let them do their job. No different than the haters that the normal people like me and you got. Do your job.
Okay, so that's what Little Dave say. Now, Gucci joined Marie Monroe certified. Now, Marie, I added to your name since you said your name was Anna. Sis, I am now calling you Marie Monroe Anna Nicole. I'm gonna add that name to there for you certified. Um, Marie said, now this is some people wanted to know. She was asked, does she think Selena should be a Belle? And Marie said,
Oh,
well, if Latrice felt like that, since her and Selena are like good friends, why didn't she pitch Selena instead of pitching Gucci? And that's what a lot of people want to know. You brought up something good, and I want your thoughts on that.
so before I get my thought, let me just ask you this. Let me turn this around and ask you a question.
Go
Did,
ahead.
did she answer the question?
No, she did not.
Exactly. Let me start by saying Maria is a very beautiful woman.
Mhm. See?
Uh, I
No,
don't know
you didn't
nothing
say
about.
it right.
I
You
don't
you
know.
supposed to say Marie Monroe and a Nicole.
I'm not doing that with you. Um, I think she's a beautiful woman. I don't know nothing about no BBL, but I think she's a beautiful woman from what we can see, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
She
I don't think that she's a bad person. Um, but I think she really got it out for Latrice. In every interview, every time somebody sit down with her,
mm-hmm.
she like whatever you saying, she don't even hear it. She's so anxious to say Latrice. She sat down with Carlos, and Carlos is asking a question. She was sitting there just as calm. Within less than 5 minutes, he asked her a question. She started bouncing around in her seat. Well,
She a
Latrice.
snake. You don't know how she gonna move.
And I was just like, he ain't asked you nothing about Latrice. And so now then with the Gucci thing,
Mm-hmm.
she now it would be different if somebody else posed the question, but she said the question was, should Selena be part of the cast? And her
Right.
answer was, if Latrice, you say you and I say this as kindly and most with the most respect and as humbly as I can. For somebody that constantly says, I'm unbothered,
Mm-hmm.
since you're bothered. You are bothered. This girl is living rent free in your head, and I mean, she live in a penthouse. I don't understand. And I don't get me wrong, I do like Latrice.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been the biggest fan of Marie, but this has nothing to do with that, right? And I say that because I don't want Marie looking at my comments on Twitter and thinking to herself, "Oh, he's just another hater." No, I'm not hating on you, sis. I'm advising you. If you're unbothered and you don't care about
Mm-hmm.
this girl, stop saying her name. Nobody's asking you about her, and you just won't stop. Um, Now as far I just want Marie. I think that Latrice. She says that Latrice used her as a storyline. Her and her
Mm-hmm.
husband. Blah 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 blah. Well, you returning the favor, sis. If that's the case, you are returning the favor because you are wearing this woman name out. Like at this point, she needs to go down and file for a new first and last name because you done called her name so many times.
I
I don't think her husband called her name that many times. It's ridiculous.
Well, Marie did say that the network spared Latrice, and she also took to Twitter, Black Twitter, baby. I'm here to get a report, and said, for this reunion, they won't be able to spare Latrice. A lot was edited out, um, and that's just what it is. The Goddess and the Empress. I don't think if Foxy Brown and Little Kim can't come together, I definitely don't see Latrice, the Goddess, and Marie Monroe and Nicole certified coming together. So.
Well, as far as being spared, of course, there's the rumor mill. Um, and I'm assuming she's saying like it's two things. Either she could be saying like, "Oh, she gonna read her to death," or maybe
She's
she feels like
saying
she's
what
gonna whoop her.
happened at the reunion.
Okay.
She said a lot was edited out and that she kind of went in.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So either you saying like you was doing this with your mouth, or
Hmm.
maybe we didn't see where you was trying to get physical. I don't know what the situation was, but let me just say this: be careful because it's them quiet ones you got to worry about. And I mean that in a physical and a verbal sense because you have given this girl great warning. The way you bring up her name on every single episode is she'd be a damn fool if she ain't preparing right this second and when she was
She
filming
better
back
be.
then for the reunion. Like
She
she
better
was ready
be.
to come for you like nobody's business. And you prepared her for that. So
Because
you
I
should
did
probably be
not
careful.
like when Cliff said Latrice was a snake when they were in that parking lot scene. Because as soon as he said it, I was like, Marie is going to bring this up. And sure enough, she did bring it up in an interview with Carlos because she was like, well, if her own husband called her a snake, which makes a lot of people say, okay, well, Marie might be telling the truth. Like, do you think Marie's telling the truth? Do you think Latrice is telling the truth? Like,
Well, your own husband called you a lesbian. Your own husband told you that it was you and Essie's marriage. So is that true?
now, people have been tweeting that too now. It's, it's with the mask and read down. I think a lot of people thought it because they were saying we're soulmates, but they explained that they were friends. Like I don't think Essie
Yeah.
is married, Marie is single, but I don't really think that they are lesbians. Like they've explained it now the whole soulmates thing. So y'all
I'm
just
not
let
gonna
it
say
go.
that I believe it, but what I am gonna say is if you're gonna keep throwing that narrative around that just because
Mhm.
her husband said something, well, your husband said something too. So, and and the list goes on because a lot of the things that Latrice is going through on these episodes, you have also been victim to. And so
Yeah,
instead of you playing tit for tat, you probably could be like some sort of help to her. You know what I mean? But instead,
she
I
cool.
guess what I would love to know is last season they made up. Latrice was at the birthday party, so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's
Something
my
had to
sister.
have happened between that moment and the reunion because we all were confused when they get to the reunion and Carlos asked Latrice about Marie and Latrice said, "Fuck
Marie can
Marie."
kiss my ass.
Right, yeah. So I need to know. The world needs to know because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's confused.
What
What
happened?
happened? Because it
Now
just ain't making sense.
Black Twitter want to know, Marie Monroe, Anna Nicole certified. Are you coming at Latrice because you feel like she's an easy target, or
Of
sis,
course,
what happened?
of
Now,
course.
let's get into what are your thoughts about Letitia and Glenn? The last episode we saw, unfortunately, his grandma was sick. That was a lot. And then Letitia met him at Iron Horse Grill to let him know, like, this does not mean we're back on. What did you think about that little day?
I'm not gonna say Letitia is full of crap because I too have been in a situation where I allowed someone to continuously over and over and over again um, disrespect me,
Hmm.
do me wrong, so on and so forth. So, but when you love somebody, especially when you've been with somebody that long, love will make you do some crazy things. So I get it, but I just want her to be. So I know she's either turned 42 or about to turn 42, right?
About to, yeah.
And so when I went through that, it was a little while back. At 42, your light should have came on a couple of years ago, sis. Shit'll get off the pot. Either you gonna be with him or you not, and you know what you gonna do. That's the thing that kind of bothers me about people. Like, you know what you want to do, you know what you should do. Just do it. Like, why are you stringing this man along? You know what I mean? And as far as trying to make him like grovel or something, like all that is unnecessary. If you got to do that for a man to do right, you
Hmm.
don't need to be there. You know what I mean? As far as their little sit down or whatever, I think he showed exactly who he was with the comments that he was making. He ain't nothing but a junior Cliff.
Not a Julia Cliff.
He is a junior Cliff, and so this is another reason why I say nobody should really have much to say about Latrice because all y'all asses is dealing with this stuff at the same, some at the same time, and some have dealt with it previously. Like, yeah, he when he a man tell you what did he say to her? Basically telling her that his way is the right way. When things go my way, they go right. Who says that?
So you think Glenn is giving Whopper Jr. vibes and you called him Junior Cliff?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, I will say this, like I've seen a lot of people tweet at her or just say things. I do think if you have been with somebody as long as they have been together, especially like since high school, it is difficult sometimes because you know some people get with people less than 2 weeks, move them in, let them use their EBT card, drive the car that's in
Yeah,
their mama name, knowing your mama gonna kill your ass.
yeah.
But it is hard sometimes to leave somebody. Now I'm not saying you got to stay and put up with anything, but I will say when I look at it like this, it's easy for us to say our opinion and what we think, right?
Mm.
Because we're watching them. But if we had it on us, It will be like people will be like, well, why are you doing this? It will make sense to us. So I just think it's hard. Hopefully they can work out whichever way they're gonna move.
I think that is hard. Let me first say this. I'm not
Hmm.
if that's how I came across, or even if that's what I said.
No, you
I'm
didn't.
not. I don't think that it would be easy. No, I'm not saying that you accuse me of that or nothing like that. But I don't
Hmm.
think that it would be easy to walk away. But you
Yeah.
have so many reasons to walk away. First of all, he's the dealing with the other women.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's blatant disrespect because you taking him back, he doing it again. Y'all brought this stuff on TV, he doing it again. But at the end of the day, your son is watching, right? And
Yeah.
so, as us as two guys on this show, I'm sure we can agree, or maybe I'm wrong. Let me just say this: I feel like as a male child, you're born into this world wanting to protect your mother, your grandmother, those females that were your first loves, that even your sisters, right?
Hmm.
And so, even if that little boy could love his father to all ends, he gonna want to protect his mom.
Right.
And so we don't give kids enough credit. They see a lot more than we give them credit for, right?
Hmm.
And so that boy is watching and he sees what's going on. He see you keep hurting his mama over and over and over again. He see his mama crying about his daddy over and over and over again. So you when you stand there and you making these difficult decisions, that's something that you probably should take into consideration. You're not the only one hurt in this situation. Your
Yeah.
son is hurting watching that. And I can speak on that from experience. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't have a problem speaking on it because it's something that's in the past at this point. But my mother had somebody that she was dealing with that didn't treat her the best. And
Hmm.
so me watching that, it hurt me to my core because I can't even defend her in this. I'm a
Yeah.
kid. What can I say? You know what I mean? But where she and we had this discussion when I got older, a lot of these things that you thinking like, oh, he a kid, he don't see, oh, we do this over here, we don't let him know that. I knew it. I knew everything she said, everything she
Yeah.
spoke on. I heard that. I saw that. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful. You got to be careful because what'll happen is he'll grow up and he could deal with anger issues. There's so many negative things that can come out of that. Again, I speak from experience. If it wasn't for my therapist, only God knows where I would be right now. So you got to be careful. I don't say that to make her sound like she's stupid or nothing, because no, you're not stupid. You're just going through life. But these are things that you need to take into consideration.
Now let's get into this couple that's going through the motions. Black Twitter has a lot of questions about Tambra and Damon. Is it greedy, graded,
Greedy,
graded,
greedy.
greedy? Okay, so a lot of people feel like in their confessional scenes, they feel like it's no chemistry there. The whole thing about like she wants a woman. What was it? A woman cave? A woman? Child out. She wants her own
Yeah,
place. So to me, I look at it like, did y'all not talk about this stuff before y'all moved in? And if your goal is to be married, you know how the old people be like, well, baby, don't shack up.
yeah.
So if y'all both are not wanting the same thing, Black Twitter saying it just don't look right. They say the relationship ain't relationshiping. What you think about it?
I'm not going to say that I don't think that there's any chemistry. If
Hmm.
someone asked me, do I think that their situation is real? My answer is yes.
You think it's real?
But I feel like Tambra went into that situation, moving in and stuff like that. She had a motive. Tambra wanted to get married. So let me do everything he's asking so that I could get this ring. Now, I don't know if she was trying to get the ring for the show to show people that, you know what I mean? Because there was a lot of doubters. I
Hmm.
don't know what her reason for feeling like she just had to press for this ring. But one thing I know about a man being a man myself is we don't like to be pressured into anything.
No.
We like to do things on our own accord, right? And so he may have wanted to marry her, but the fact that you just keep bringing it up and keep everything is just about give me the ring, give me the ring, give me the ring. You probably just threw your ring away, sis. And so the fact that she's not getting the ring in the time that she wants it,
Hmm.
now she want out. Now
So
she
you
want to
think that's
back
why
up.
she wanted?
And I don't even really think she won out. I think that her mentioning, like, oh, I want my own apartment, that's another ploy of, you better give me this ring or I'm going to leave. Nobody, no man wants to be done like that. And like, you will push a man completely away with that. So I think she's just going about things wrong. But I think
Hmm.
there's chemistry there. If nothing else, he definitely shows chemistry to me.
He does.
I think
Now,
he does.
Black Twitter in the streets did say this, and I said it before. Tamara, they are happy that you are shooting in a house, sis, because we've never seen you shoot in your own location. Your parents' house was nice. I know you like meeting the bells out. So Black Twitter, this ain't me saying it. Black Twitter wants you to know that if you and Damon do not work out, they want you in your own place. I did look up some apartments, and I let you know you can move into Sun Chase right there in Ridgeland, or go right across the street to the Aspen. I think it used to be called Old Canton Apartments. I used to stay there back in the day, and I used to stay at Sun Chase. Those are both great apartments, and I know you can afford those. Sis.
Jay, I'm going to have to
Well,
stop you.
what?
If I visit Jackson, Mississippi, and
Yes.
I find a convertible Maserati parked outside of an apartment, the way I'm gonna roast Tamra on the next season of
Why would you roast her?
if you driving a 6-figure vehicle,
Hmm.
you ain't got no business in no apartment. I'm gonna need her to do much better than that.
So you want her in a house?
That would probably make a bit more sense.
Well, I'm just saying we never saw her shoot at her own place. So I want to start her off at a house. Maybe I can find her a HUD voucher and get a house. I don't know.
And I know that there's people that don't want houses. They want no responsibility of owning anything and thing like that. But and if you were going to get an apartment because that's how you feel,
Hmm.
you shouldn't have to be looking for no affordable apartment and you driving a 6-figure vehicle. Just my opinion. Unless
Well,
you purchased it, you because when I went, in 2017 and bought my BMW, I bought it used. Listen, I'm a normal person. I ain't on no show. Ain't nobody paying me all of that. So I bought mine used, and I was very shocked to see that the Maseratis on the lot cost the same as my car. When they lose value very quickly. So if she bought it used, I understand. But if she bought it brand new, no, it says you don't need to be in no Twitter's about to tear me and IG about to tear me up. Listen, y'all, this is just how I feel. I'm sorry. Call me what you will, but that's just how I feel.
well, Tamara, sis, they just say they want you shooting at a location. It's no hate. So I'm just gonna wish the best for you in the month. Now for me, I mean, I don't know. Y'all just seem not connected. So, now people are happy that Willie is coming on this episode. I think Willie is funny. And
Hilarious.
Aikisha, we came off of her and her mom. Let me tell you something. Her and her mama in that scene, baby. First, the level of fashion they gave us. Aikisha with the bow. Her mama was dressed the suit. They gave it to us, baby, in that scene. And I'm ready to see Willie on there because he was like, "Daddy's home, bitches." What did you What do
Oh
you think
God.
about Aikisha so far, and are you happy to see Willie coming on?
Um. So let me just touch on that scene with her and her mama.
Hmm.
When that mama entered into that room,
Dr. Sandra, baby.
you knew money had entered that building.
Oh, yes.
Everything about her, Aikisha didn't have to tell us anything about that woman, and you
Oh,
knew
yes.
money entered into that building. The poise that
Hmm.
woman had from the time she walked through that door all the way through her conversation, my mouth was on the floor. But at the same time, I'm not shocked because Aikisha gives that, but just in a different way. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I get it. But I was glad to see her because it seemed like we wasn't seeing her. I'm excited to see much more of her because I think she brings some great dynamic and she can bring the drama too. Um,
Hmm.
so I want to see that. Her husband, super excited to see him come back because when I tell you he don't give a damn what he say. I don't know if he be confused. I don't know if he just don't get it. But baby, the stuff that come out his mouth be like, did you just say that? Like you you didn't care that all these people was that you talking about them and they standing right beside you? Like you don't even care. Yeah, I'm ready for him. I need him to come on in and bring it. Cause don't get me wrong, JJ does a great job of bringing the entertainment. But them two together, they are TV gold. They need to do a spinoff.
Yes, love it. I love it. Yeah, so we gonna see more of that, and I have noticed like a lot of people in the comments, because I follow like it's the Belle Collective Savage group on Facebook. Shout out to them. I follow the Belle Collective pages on Instagram, two of them, and I pay attention to the comments, of course, Twitter, and a lot of people are like, she took Letitia's idea, this, that, da 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 da, but she already had the building and she had
Yeah.
put in a bid for more. So it's sort of like, to me, Letitia did try to start off doing stuff on Fair Street. And we just see Letitia now doing her empowerment brunches and working her enterprise. And now Aikisha, that was just featured in Essence. She was just
Essence.
featured in Essence magazine. So, we just see it kind of spinning off.
Was it
But
Essence or Ebony?
Essence,
Okay.
Essence, yeah.
But I mean, I guess my confusion is, and this is no shade to Letitia. This
Hmm.
is just basically saying I don't know. I'm not
Okay.
saying what you did or didn't do. But
Hmm.
from what we saw, when you say pass the reins, it's like, oh, I've already got this done, I've gotten this done, I've gotten this done. Now all you got to do is take it and run with it. We didn't see you do anything. Like all we saw you do was get turned down. And I'm not saying that that's all that happened, but that's all they gave us. So, sis, I need you to help explain to the people, like, what did you pass over other than a storyline?
Well, I got to interview Aisha, and I also, in an interview, went back to season one when
Right.
Letitia met with the councilman, the Keith Stamps, Jock Keaton, and they basically like quoted her the price
Okay.
and told her like the building she wanted. I think it was the palace that Miss Dorothy showed her,
Yeah.
that it was not for sale, that she could rent it. It's in a historic district. Fair Street is a historic district. You have to follow certain guidelines. You have to have certain money. Now, I knew, because I'm from there, I used to work right around the corner from Fair Street when I was there, that it takes money. I feel like Letitia was interested in it, and that to me, a lot of people just took it like, this is her project, this is her idea. And I mean, she tried to start some footwork in it, and it's a difference from Aikisha actually having a building and putting in bids for more property, but people sort of get caught up in the storyline.
But I want to stop. I want to stop you there, and I want people to. Okay, because I noticed that even Letitia brought up. Oh, well, you were basically saying she was given a building. You inherited a building. That's the only reason why. Listen, sis, she may have inherited a building,
Hmm.
but all the things that you were trying to do, she's doing it, and that ain't got nothing to do with that building. Like she's gotten the investors to help her. She's getting this stuff approved. She's
Hmm.
making things happen. That ain't got nothing to do with what she was inherited. That's just her networking and her moves that she's making. Again, I'm not taking anything away from you. For all I know, you could have made
Right.
moves way stronger. I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes, but what they're showing of you
Hmm.
did nothing. So it makes it seem like you just want some clout to be able to say you started something and pass it on to her. You even got Marie saying it because I heard Marie say it before, and
Yes.
you ain't really passed nothing. She
Yes.
just came in and did what needed to be done. You had not done anything from what they showed on TV.
So that's what some people have said. I mean, I talked about in the interview with her, and I did say it takes money, not monopoly money, to buy into a historic district. There's Ferris Street there. There's like an area in Fondren that are expensive, $1 million parks. So, you know.
And so it takes money. And let's just be clear: when somebody asked her what her husband did, I think he's like a
Mhm.
tugboat driver or something like that. The way that she said it was, "Oh, he just a tugboat driver," like as if that was nothing. So if anybody comes back and says you don't have the money for it, don't try to check them with that. Oh, you don't know what I got going on. You put on TV like what your husband was doing wasn't nothing. So we can only assume he must not be making nothing either. And you were a housewife, so where the money come from? Because you had Marie,
Surprise.
and what is that?
Wait,
What is
what you
that?
say? Letitia Pearson Enterprise. It's
I
her
googled it
enterprise.
and I saw where she goes out and she speaks, and she also
Hmm.
does brunches. And the company seems like it's, and I hate to say that, I don't want to sound like I'm being negative, but it seems like it's a front, basically an office for somebody to answer the phone for those two things.
So I'm gonna put that on my list because you want to know, is the enterprise enterprising?
Yeah, and if it is, then we need to update that website.
I'm gonna put that on my list. I got my notepad right here,
Mhm.
and my notes are right here. I'm adding it to the list. You want to know, is the enterprise enterprising?
And while you're doing it, I would love to know. I need some facts about these methadone clinics and all these mental health clinics that Marie has as well. Again, I'm not saying what you don't have, sis. Congrats to any. I'm, I love black people, of course, because I'm black, but I don't do
Hmm.
the black people, like people in general. I love to see people successful. So congrats to you if you're successful. But unfortunately, Google ain't your friend because it ain't showing it. It's
So
showing
you
that you got a
want to
few.
know more about Hamilton Davis? I'm
Because all
adding
I
it
see
to
is
the
home
list.
health care.
Hamilton Davis Home Health Care. You want
No,
to
no,
know
no, no,
more
no.
about
I
that?
don't need to see home health care. I need to see the mental institutions or whatever it is that she got in
Mental
there in
health
the
facility. Do
mental
you
health
want to know about
facility.
the methadone clinics?
That too.
Okay. So I'm
Yeah.
put that on this list. It's on this list. And
Mm.
also, now Letitia did have the receptionist Alexis Noble. Sis, they said, you know,
She didn't
you
get
are
no
the best.
calls while Letitia and Latrice was having that conversation. She didn't get no phone calls. She was sitting up there laughing the whole time. So is the enterprise? And I'm just saying, listen, and I don't want to sound like some negative person, but I'm just keeping it above. I'm just keeping it honest.
Well, I'm gonna try to get the answers, little Dave. The people want to know. Black Twitter, and you have brought these questions, so we need to know more about Hamilton Davis, about the methadone clinic, um, about the mental health facility. You want to know about Letitia Pearson Enterprises, and maybe we can call the secretary Alexis Noble. Sis, you did have your shot on TV, and then you did laugh at the scene. They like that, but they wanted your natural pressed out a little bit more. Sis, they wanted your natural hair pressed out a little bit more, baby. Now, since you brought up Marie Monroe, Anna Nicole, what did you think about Marie's date with player Goldie Dewan?
Storyline.
You thought it was a storyline. They met at Fannin Bowling. You thought it was a storyline.
Letitia ain't thought that Marie wanted no man. She ain't thought that. She ain't thought that. And if we talking about Marie who runs around saying, I'm rich, I could pay for your whole life, I could write a check for your
For
whole
your
life,
whole life.
she wouldn't have sat around and entertained that bull crap.
Now, Letitia said she wanted to get Marie a different kind of man, though.
And that's what she chose.
Now, wait, I will say this. If okay, just say if Dewan would have showed up, not dressed the way he was dressed, right? If he would have showed up dressed more casual, let's say if the goals weren't golden, if the goals was gone, he's a decent looking brother. You couldn't see Dewan with
I'm
him.
not saying he was ugly. I'm just saying the gold was golden and he wasn't dressed casual. So he was giving you exactly who he was.
Player.
and the list goes on. But we're not gonna speak on that because what I'm not gonna do is have him suing me for my opinion. But we know what we. I'm sure we can put two and two together and tell what his life consists of.
So you think Dewan might be a pharmaceutical, street pharmaceutical salesman? Is that what you're saying?
I said what I said. You ain't finna get me up inside of nobody's courthouse. I'm not finna be going back because I ain't got no money.
I'm just saying.
So she won't become
Okay,
a
so
millionaire, and he won't either off of me.
okay, so we gonna move on from that since Dave does not want to get into that. Now you did make a reference to Marie cutting checks for people whole life. Now I had to go to the Black Twitter report and pull up um Marie when she Dave got that from Marie tweeting about Latrice was like the BBL was BBL. Now Marie posted this, okay? Marie, I love when she tweets, baby, because Marie be reading down, baby, her and Essie. Now, Marie said, and I got to say it, 15 years ago, the BBL was BBL. I've always had body yaddy yaddy. Y'all just noticing, y'all dizzy slow as fuck following a hater. Now, she didn't say the fuck, but I put that in there because she put AF. Now, then Marie said this. For the ones who call for me by adding me, while y'all are concerned about whether or not I've had surgery on my face or body, I'm over here unbothered, living the life of an empress, building my healthcare and Zora Marie empire, creating generations of wealth for my family, securing the bag. When you get done, when you get through talking shit, I will cut a check for your entire life because I'm that beep Marie Moreau, and that's why y'all mad. Fact check that. And that's what Marie said, and she meant it. So she said she cutting checks for entire lives. That's why little Dave said that. And Marie, they still want to know, sis, when are the Marie Monroe stimulus checks coming out? That's what the streets want to
If you ask Marie about that comment right now,
know.
I'm
She
willing
gonna
to
hold it
bet
up for
money her response is gonna start off with, "Well, Latrice."
I get it. Not Latrice.
And so, yeah, I'm not buying what she's selling. You're
You not buying
bothered.
it.
You're definitely bothered. You definitely not paying out people's lives with no check. You ain't
She
doing
can
that.
cut a check for my life, baby. Lives are expensive. Cut a check for my life.
She can't cut one for mine. I can assure you, she can't afford to cut one for mine. And I, like I said, I ain't got no money, so I ain't on here false flagging like I'm just got it like that. It just ain't. And here's the thing. Again, I'm not saying any. I'm not trying to bash Marie. That is, I
Mm,
think Marie is not a bad person. I just think that Marie has some cocky ways about her, and some of the
mm.
things that she says when she gets in that arrogant space, it just be like, sis, calm down,
You
calm
don't think she's giving
down.
good entertainment? Do you think that?
Well, you know what? If that's what she trying to do, then so be it. But the rich stuff and Latrice,
Hmm.
this we tired. I'm
Listen, Marie
exhausted.
said she will cut a check for your whole entire life, baby. So you better get ready to send your life over for that Marie Monroe certified stimulus check because I want my check. So
You know, I'll just say this: before Marie can convince me that she can cut a check for my entire life,
hmm.
what's shown on TV of her living situation would have to be a whole lot better than that.
Now, what you talking about, little Dave?
I understand that everybody doesn't, flash their money and blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
But when you got money, one thing you're gonna do is make sure that your living situation is comfortable. Okay.
So, what do you
And
think about Marie Monroe in a Nicole situation? Then? What do you think?
well, I'm going there.
Okay.
I also think that you may not want a Benz or a Bentley, but you're gonna ride about around comfortable. You ain't comfortable in that work van, sis.
Wait, you
Not
not
everywhere. Not everywhere. No, you're not. You went looking for your mama in that work van.
well, that was company business.
That
You
wasn't
didn't
nothing
like the
company.
work.
Wasn't nothing company about that. And at the end of the day, if that wasn't drawing attention to you in this hood that y'all was just so scared to be in, Essie in the car talked about, ooh, it's dangerous over here. I'm worried about Marie being over here. Marie talking about I don't need to be over here. But y'all riding around in a work van, in a white work van. I would think that a Honda Accord would be a little bit more subtle. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it a buck. So yeah, I'm not buying what you selling. And then the house,
Yes.
sis,
Who house? Marie house you talking about?
Marie house.
Okay, what about Marie house?
Girl, you need to tell them start showing your house, the inside of your house in different angles.
Why?
Some of that stuff, them pictures and stuff, don't even look like it came from at home. Maybe the Ross clearance rag or
I
something like that.
can't.
And listen, I'm not saying nothing is wrong with being frugal. But when
Hmm.
you somebody that run around, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, that's what changes the trajectory of the like. You can't. You got to pick a lane, sis. Either you out
Marie
here rich.
said she is rich and she's a millionaire and she will write a check for your entire life. And that's what she
First, you need
saying.
to write it. First, you got to write a check for some more furniture, some better pictures, and a Honda Accord at the very least.
A Honda Accord?
At the least, don't
You
bring
want
me no
her in a
Civic.
Honda Accord?
Don't bring me no Civic. Talking about it's a company car. I don't want to hear it. You already showed it, and then the company van ain't even like. You know what I mean? Like they got different levels of the Ford vans,
So
and you
I
got
got to write that on the list.
the
They
smallest
want
one out there. And here, at least you got a business. Because I already know people gonna say that. But what you doing? She got a business. I ain't around here talking about I'm rich. You don't
so
see
you
me
want
every three
her
minutes talking about I'm rich either.
I'm writing this on the list. The list is getting longer. So you want her in a Honda Accord. Does it can
Or
it be the
better.
base model or pre-owned certified or you want it new? Which one?
I give you the base because people love to say, "Oh, I ain't got to be all flashy. I don't need all that technology." I give you the base, but you got to do better than that van.
So you want her in a base model, new or pre-certified.
Or it needs to be brand new
You want her in a new Honda Accord, not a Honda Civic
or better, or
or
better.
better.
And I need for the Honda to be parked next to the van. Don't go trade that van in for a Honda. Because the van is for the company and the Honda's supposed to be for you. So I need to see them parked side by side in front of your mental health clinic. And again, this is not to bash you. I'm giving you advice to help you shut down some of the things that people are saying about you because you are running around here talking about I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. It ain't us. You said that. So yeah.
Marie said it, and she say, I feel like if Marie say something, she just say it. So sis, hopefully we can get those answers because they do live tweet. Hopefully we can live tweet. Marie has like responded if I said stuff or just ask. So she's nice enough to respond. A lot of the bells are. So we will see. Now we are about to get into the new episode. Less than 10 minutes. So I want to ask this so we can close it out because we got to see what's going on. What do you think about the season so far, and what do you want to see?
I think the season is off to a great start. I think that although I probably would have waited to the end of the season to bring that fight, I thought that was good as well because it kind of gives that okay, you ain't just trying to hold us because the season gonna be boring. You got plenty more exciting stuff to go. I think they're doing a great job. You know, giving what needs to be given with this season so far.
I think it's good too. Now, from what I've been hearing, because I keep my ear to the streets, and people still give me little tidbits from back home, and they say this ain't even a fraction of what's gonna go down.
Good.
Like, this why we got it early. So I'm ready to see it. I do want, like I said, Tamara, I did find you those apartments in Sunchase in the Aspen right there in Regional, or you can stay in Founder. If you and Damon don't work out, I need you in your own place. Dave said he wants you in a house since you have a Maserati, you know.
Oh,
Marie,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead.
One more thing that I do want to see, and this is all jokes aside.
Hmm.
Um, I want to see the girls rally around Latrice with that situation with her husband and be more of a mentor instead of uh, fighting with her, help her. That's something that I would love to see by the end of this season.
You know what? We're gonna have to go live again and talk about that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because I people have been saying things. We're gonna have to talk about that, child. That's
Okay.
okay. I do think that's a good thing that you said. And people, Marie, I'm gonna try to get some answers to Dave's questions. He does want you in a new Honda Accord. It can be the base model, but he wants you in a new Honda, and he wants you to park it right by the Hamilton Davis work van. Um, he said, "Don't trade the van in, sis.
Mm-mm.
Don't do a Scooby Doo van."
Mm-mm.
And I want to know, will we get a Marie Monroe certified stimulus check? Because you can cut a check for my whole life, baby. Because it's hard times. I'm not a millionaire. I'm a thousandaire barely. So cut a check for my entire life. But I do like this season. I'm liking what they bring in, and it really has been good. And I just want um on to push it more. And I feel like Carlos should talk more in depth with them. He has his platform. He needs to push his own shows more. This is Jay Evans saying that. Now, Marie says she can cut a check for y'all life. I'm cutting the real to Carlos. You don't promote your own show enough. Stop talking about the Housewives franchise and Married to Medicine. I understand you talk about reality shows, but you got your own shows that you can push and promote more. That's what I want to
Absolutely.
see. Like you should have had Gucci on there. He had her on last week. You should have had JJ on there. If you want to bring Selena in and get different people, it should have been a big PR blitz leading up to this. If you wanted to capitalize on it, since you didn't edit it out. So I feel like Carlos King, people have been calling him out, and I'm not afraid to say it. They said you need to push Belle Collective and Marriage Huntsville, your franchises, more. And that's how I feel, and I'm in agreement with it.
Yep.
So we gonna see what this episode gives, and hopefully Dave can join me and talk about it. And what you said, we will touch on that about Latrice and the bells rallying around her. We will definitely touch on that.
I look
So
forward to it.
Dave, I thank you for joining me, and I'm going to try to get the answers to these questions that you have. You want to know about Letitia Pearson Enterprise more, and more about, well, you child, you want Marie in a new Honda.
If anything happens to me after this live, Marie did it.
Marie
Marie
did
did
it.
it.
Marie ain't gonna do it. Marie can take a joke down.
But no, Marie, I promise you, like, if you watching, if you get wind of this, I am not trying to bash you. I'm just trying to help you to understand what I've been hearing and what I see on TV. So thank you for having me, Jay. And anytime, I look
Thanks for
forward to doing it
coming.
with you again.
Yes, Marie know what it is, child. She know we give entertainment. Hey, Marie, and Nicole, baby. And hey to the Bells. And congratulations to Aikisha for landing
Yes.
in Essence Magazine. You better do it, sis. And shout out to Dr. Sandra Holly, baby. She came
Yes.
through. All right, y'all. So we talked the talk. Now it's time to walk the walk. So, little Dave, let's get into this new episode that's about to happen. So, all right.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye, y'all.